Hello everyone, my name is Przemysław LECH and I'm a professor at University of Gdańsk, Faculty of Management, and I would like to present to you the key takeaways from our paper Evolution and Deployment Options of Enterprise Systems, basing on the case of SAP S/4HANA Enterprise Application Suite, which we wrote together with my dear co-authors Dariusz, SAMÓL, a solution architect from Westernacher, Poland. Westernacher is an enterprise, consulting enterprise dealing with SAP implementations, and Mariya, SHYGUN, professor at Kiev National Economic University. The first takeaway from our paper is the refined definition of an enterprise system, which you see here on this slide. As you can see, it's quite long and complex, so let's decompose it into some smaller fragments. So first of all, enterprise system is a standard system which is configurable and customizable. What does it mean it's standard? It means simply that you buy a ready system. You don't create it yourself, you don't program it yourself, you buy it from a vendor. You buy it in the form of a permanent license or as a subscription. As this system is standard, means it's not adjusted to your company. It has some standard functionality which a vendor thought would be okay for many enterprises. So you have to adjust it to your needs, and you can do it in two ways. The first one is configuration. Configuration is setting the system parameters to determine the way the system operates. So standard enterprise systems are redundant, meaning they have several ways of doing each of the processes. And in short, by setting up the parameters, you choose the way the system should operate. No matter how big the system is, however, the number of options you can choose from is limited. So sooner or later you would face a situation that none of the existing ways of doing a process works for you. Then you can customize the system by adding your own code. So either you add a custom code or you replace existing code with your own code, and this way you adjust the system to your needs even more. That point would be crucial later in our presentation when we talk about the cloud solutions. Furthermore, we would like to differentiate between enterprise application software and enterprise system. And the differentiation is that enterprise system has to be organization-wide and has to cover major processes and management functions of an enterprise. Any system that works in an organization, helps the organization operate, but not organization-wide, would need to have some other name, and our proposition here is enterprise application software or enterprise applications. So at least enterprise system has to cover the basic core processes of an enterprise, which is, of course, first of all, production planning and management, then inventory management, then purchasing and inbound logistics, sales and outbound logistics. Usually, it would also cover finance, accounting, and controlling, and may cover some other areas like human capital management, plant maintenance, research and development, quality assurance, and others. And such a system is known since 20 or 30 years, and it's called ERP, of course. Yes, so not without a reason, many researchers equate enterprise systems with enterprise resource planning systems. We would soon find out that that equation was okay 10 years ago, but is not okay right now because enterprise systems have evolved. Anyhow, enterprise resource planning, ERP system, of course, still is a basic example of an enterprise system because it does cover most of the processes of a company and is organization wide. But, well, 10-15 years ago, a situation emerged like you see on that slide that, okay, every enterprise had its ERP system, but additional systems emerged which improved operations or helped organizations in other areas. First, these are business intelligence and predictive analytics systems, data warehouses and so on. A huge amount of systems which were set aside the transactional ERP system. Second, systems emerged which improved operations in selected areas beyond the capabilities of ERP. So, for example, you have inventory management in ERP, but aside you would want to manage your warehouse, optimize the capacity of the warehouse, optimize the routes, and optimize your stock, and warehouse management systems do that. You may want to plan and optimize your logistics as well, both inbound and outbound, plan the routes, plan the transportation vehicles and so on, and transportation management systems do that. And of course, there may be some other examples of such systems. And again, a situation came out that, well, you have a lot of systems that have to be integrated somehow, but are standalone, separate systems. And what happened as an evolution of enterprise system is that some, if not all, of these systems were incorporated into enterprise systems. So looking at an example of SAP S for HANA has standard and ERP functionality, but in addition to that, it has warehouse management system, which is called EWM, transportation management system, which is called TM. It has also BI and predictive analytics. So all these functionalities are now embedded into big enterprise systems. So current enterprise systems do not limit their functionality to ERP, although still that's an option that you've got enterprise system which equals to ERP, but offer much more functionality, which poses some additional research possibilities that I will cover later in this presentation. The second takeaway from our paper are the deployment options of enterprise systems, including ERP, but not only, and implications of that deployment options. Maybe the deployment options is quite obvious, but the implications are not so obvious. So there is a trend right now to move the systems to the cloud. It also concerns enterprise systems, and there are three basic possibilities of deployment of an enterprise system which we identified. First is on-premise. So it's a old way. You've got a permanent license. You buy servers, you install it yourself or with the help of some consulting company. You configure and customize the system. That's your responsibility as a client to do all of these things. You may hire consultants or not, but still it's your responsibility. On the other side of the spectrum is public cloud. So software as a service, where you buy a subscription, to a multi-tenant environment, so you are not the only company that uses the same system. So you just buy a subscription to use a system together with other companies. Of course, these systems are logically divided, so you don't see the data of other companies, but still you cannot do whatever you want with this system. What are the pros and cons of this solution? Well, the pro is quick deployment. So the system is pre-configured, is to some extent ready to use, so you wouldn't expect to spend a year or two on the implementation project. Second pro is that all the maintenance of the system is done by the provider, as the system is on the server of the provider and is de facto owned by the provider. But there are cons. The functionality of such systems is usually limited comparing to the on-premise version, and what's more important, you're not able to do all the configuration customization you want. Especially customization would be limited because as the system is used by many enterprises, you cannot add your own code to this system basically. So you would have limited possibilities of adjusting such a system to your needs. You would rather have to adjust your company to the system, which, at least in case of value-adding core processes, is not something that companies would welcome. Another option is a private cloud, or the so-called on-premise in the cloud, when you put the system on an infrastructure platform of a vendor, hyperscaler, but the system is yours. So infrastructure and technical maintenance is done by the provider. You don't have to care about it. You pay for it in your subscription fee, but you're able to configure and customize the system as you want, and you have usually access to full functionality of the system as it would be on an on-premise version. The key point here is that when talking about migration to cloud, it's necessary to state which option you're talking about, because there is a huge difference, as you can see, between public cloud and private cloud. Here, really, you are very similar to the on-prem, meaning you can do whatever you want. Here in public cloud, you are limited by the fact that the system is used by many enterprises in parallel. The third takeaway are the research directions with regards to enterprise system. The first questions that arise regarding architecture. When does it make sense for a company to go for all-in-one solution, meaning implementing all the functionalities from one vendor and then one integrated system? And when does it make sense to go for a best-of-breed solution, meaning picking up subsystems from different vendors and integrating them by yourself? Second question is regarding the huge functionality of big enterprise systems. What the target functionality in real life settings would be? What would companies implement, and what functionalities would they rather abandon? With regards to the implementation, as the implementation process is even more complex than when implementing single ERP solution. The question is, how would companies do it? Would they go for a big bang, implement all the functionalities at once, or would they phase the implementation, and what these phases would be? Also, how the cloud solutions would be implemented, how the fact that the system is in the cloud influences the implementation process, implementation project. And there are questions regarding cloud itself. Which cloud options would the enterprise go for? Would it be public cloud and with what consequences, or would it be private cloud or none at all? This is still the emerging thing in enterprise systems. And for these companies who choose the public cloud, what the consequences would be? How would that affect business of these enterprises? And that's all regarding our paper. I encourage you to download the paper and read it. Thank you very much, and goodbye.